We've got assistant head coach and O-line coach Marcus Johnson here today. If you've got questions for Coach, feel free to adjust the podium.
Marcus, I know spring is a chance to get a look at some other guys that are retiring and Bobby both kind of out this spring. Who are you getting to look at right tackle?
Starting out with Zeke Powell. You know, he's a guy that's been here for a little minute. He's got some experience, and the natural thing to do was to slide him over to right versus moving Javon over. So starting to spring out with Zeke at right tackle, and also got Mitch behind him as well as Marmon Membo. So some younger guys, but obviously, you know, we need Zeke to have a big spring, you know, and show some veteran leadership out there up front. Well, I guess first off, you try to find the right five. I never say the best five, but the right five, five guys that can get on the same page. And then from there, you try to find 6, 7, and 8 if you're fortunate to have a 6, 7, and 8. So to me, if it's not one of those guys that ends up being in the starting lineup, that's where you start getting into some position flexibility or cross-training with guys. And, you know, I think we got a few guys that have the ability to play multiple positions. You know, I think Tollison is a young man with a lot of talent that can play a lot of positions. I think Armand's going to be a young man that can play a lot of multiple positions. Woody can slide out the right tackle. He's played left guard. So we got a few guys. And even Javon, I know our first year here, he was at right tackle. So we got some guys that have been in different places before. Luke Griffin played everything inside for us as well. So we got quite a few guys that have played multiple positions, and I think that's critical when it comes to development. You know, knock on wood, but you know, there's very few lines, offensive lines, that go throughout the course of the season where all 5 guys stay healthy. So at some point, somebody's going to have to step up in a major way for us during the season, you know. So you got to start cross-training those guys at some point, just so once the season does get here, it's not their first time to the party, if you will.
Marcus, where are you at center? Just how important is it to settle on a guy going into the summer camp?
Very important, very important. You know, right now, you know, the theme for us offensively and even team-wise, I would say, is to get better individually. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's about competition. Yeah, we got Bency going with the 1s, Tollison with the 2s, and Drake with the 3rd group, but that's not necessarily the starting lineup. This is kind of a base foundation for us right now. And, you know, we've had conversations in the room. These guys know that at some part of spring ball, there's going to be some shuffling along the way, you know. Just trying to let Bency get his feet wet a little bit and create some chemistry and cohesion with he and that first group, you know. But both guys are trying to please, right? All 3 guys are trying to please right now, and it's truly a one-day-at-a-time process for us right now. And it's not necessarily, again, about competing with one another as much as it is just about you work on your craft individually right now. And as they say, the cream will rise to the top when the time comes. I think we're trying to find that. You know, it's only 4 days in right now, and that was kind of my voice to the room when we started this thing. There is no Mike Mayetti, there is no Case Cook, so somebody's going to have to try to take this group by the horns and get rocking and rolling with it and holding each other accountable. You know, I think when you do that, I think you got to earn that respect from your peers. And, you know, you can't be a sometimes guy. It's got to be day in and day out and consistency in everything that you do, you know, and not just saying it. You got to actually do it, you know. It's about your actions more so than just your words. So I think we got guys still trying to find their way right now, if you will, with guys being in some different roles right now.
When it comes to Mike Mayetti kind of guy, when you talk about filling that role,
I think you can push them to do it. I think you put them in certain positions and roles, and to give them ownership and leadership. And I think we as coaches had to hold them accountable to it. We had a great team function last week about leadership and whatnot, and I think we learned a lot about ourselves. One being important. One of the things that we learned is leaders need help too. You can't do it by yourself. You need other guys pushing in the same direction with you. One of the big themes has been listen to understand versus listening to respond. And being able to take critical corrections.
Rolling early has become an increasingly popular choice for a lot of high school kids, such as Armand. What are some of the biggest benefits you see from kids who opt to go?
I think they get ingrained in the program. They get to learn what your culture is all about. They get an early start on getting a degree and possibly a master's. Not only that, but they get a chance to learn your system. It's great that Armand's here. And the fact that he'll kind of be a step ahead of his peers once they get here this summer. I know it benefited me just personally in a major way. The fact that I was able to be in the two deep as a true freshman. I didn't play, I redshirted, but I felt like I was so many steps ahead of my peers my second year in the program because I practiced with the first and the second group. I was a part of the game plan, so I understood what it meant to find look at certain things that you see, indicators on the field when it comes to certain pressures and whatnot. You actually being in there with the O-line coach in that two deep in the O-line room, and you just understand, you have a better understanding and getting ahead of everything, if you will, academically and athletically.
When you're talking about the center, you told me the other day how important it is, and in what you guys do specifically, how much of identifying the protections and the blitzes is on him, how much is on the quarterback, and does that change with obviously the different quarterback this situation than it was last year?
And what we do offensively, a lot is put on our center's plate as far as getting five guys on the same page, whether that's in the run game or the pass game. So myself and that center, we got to be on the same page and see it in the same way. I think it's critical. Mike was phenomenal about it. He and I would meet at different times without everybody else throughout the course of the season, just so he would have a better understanding of what we were looking for, especially when it comes to protections and third downs, just because we do have a unique system in what we do, So a lot is on that center's plate just from a leadership standpoint and just having five guys on the same page. And I always tell those guys, as long as we on the same page, we got a chance to be right. The issue comes in when you got half the line doing it this way and the other half doing that way, and now you're turning people loose, So as long as we're on the same page, we're going to make it right,
Anything else for Coach? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.